flying something like this B-17 compared to flying anything else, what are the differences?
Oh, it's unlike any other. For a typical pilot, it would be totally unfamiliar. Most airplanes have very balanced controls. This has totally unbalanced controls, very heavy in aileron, very light in elevator. It's 1936 or 1934 design. 1935 first flew, and they all flew during the 1940s. And things were not, they hadn't really refined. Aviation was still very new back then. It really was. They were still figuring a lot of things out. And this airplane was in the middle of the figuring out part. Yeah.
Now, when you get into something like this, does it, you start to feel not nostalgic, but just like almost like you're like, wow, I'm flying a piece of history.
That's why we do it. We are the EAA. We're all volunteers, and we're all the caretakers of this special piece of history. It's a national treasure. There were 12,731 of these built, and by the end of World War II, that was all in about a 3.5-year period they built these. And by the end of that 3.5-year period that they built 12,731 of these, there were only 3,600 of them remaining. That they were being shot out of the skies and crashed that much, each with 10 men on board. The sacrifice that these guys made for this country was incredible. And that's why we do this. We volunteer. We're all volunteers, and we do this to keep the history of the greatest generation alive. It's an important piece of history. This world would be a very different place had it not been for those guys. And so that's what we do. That's why we do this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.